Alrighty, and welcome back to Icarus week 143 Patchnotes discussion. So for being a bit late, but still on vacation, and as I've had before, a bit of technical issues, but hey, we are live now. I'm gonna switch back over to Discord. Carl is here to help me out. Hey Carl, how you doing?
So you're a bit tired, but overall doing well. And yourself?
Not bad at all. Still enjoying my vacation.
Because this is your second last or last week? Last week.
Next week I'll be back home. Been here for
Okay.
weeks now, so.
Okay. But when are you leaving to get back?
Friday, next week Friday.
Huh? Okay, so you still have the whole weekend, and then you've got a recovery weekend at home to get back into, the Dutch weather system. Although the weather, I think, has been good in Ireland. It's pretty good recently. So I think just for this weekend before the summer is gone.
Is it gone? Well,
Almost.
it's still full summer out here, that's for sure.
Oh yeah, I know. Yeah, well, I can imagine that. But there is a little bit of what do they call it? A French summer or something like that over here. I don't know what they call it something. But yeah, either way. So, patch notes for 143 today.
Yeah, man, I should have restarted my laptop. Let's see, still there, alright. Okay, why is this not updating?
Technical difficulties.
Yeah, a little bit. Anyway,
We already. Let's apologize.
next week I'll be, like I said, next week I'll be back home again, and then I can do it like proper again.
Yep, I would imagine so. It's just an interim solution whilst you're abroad.
Exactly. Anyway, that's next week 3. So we have sugar, strawberry hard candy, and water lemon lollipops. So
Watermelon.
sorry, water lemon.
A watermelon, yes.
Watermelon.
Melon.
You're right. Sorry,
Yes.
melon, not a lemon. I'm a lemon. Yeah, sorry about that. Hey,
No, that's all good.
let's just assume it's a tad late here, yeah?
Oh yeah, true.
Anyway, so we have a new edition of sugar cane with the seeds in the workshop, which allows you to harvest sugar for new recipes, new candy, and for more. So, in the workshop means doesn't grow in the wild. You can't harvest it in the wild. You can buy it from the workshop.
Maybe eventually, or maybe it's actually like, because I would have imagined that there would have been certain plants that haven't sort of survived or died out in Icarus, and due to genetic, seed samples being sent over or being defrosted, that you would be able to plant certain plants from our homeworld. So yeah, there might be some lore openings for it if it doesn't grow planetside naturally. So makes sense.
Yeah, we'll see how it's going to work out.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, so welcome to week 143. Now, this week we introduce a new growable plant, sugarcane, which can be purchased as seeds in the Orbital Workshop. Side note, or get as rewards in Simple Quest. Now, fully grown sugarcane can be ground down in a mortar and pestle, and I also assume also in the material processor, to make the newest ingredient on Icarus, sugar. Now, with the addition of sugar comes new recipes and candy. Candy being a new food group that does not count towards the total active food buffs. Nice. but provides
Oh,
small
oh,
situational buffs for escaping dangerous situations. So basically,
interesting.
short-term boost. I reckon similar as the stamina potions, for example.
Yeah. Yeah, maybe I just hopefully something a little bit more endearing than the stamina potions, but it could still be useful in a
Yeah,
pinch.
I recently did a mission where I had to kill animals whilst having a certain potion active, whilst it was active for 90 seconds. And especially when you have to kill polar bears, that ain't that isn't a whole lot of time.
Well, you could also just run like a maniac and just keep on dodging him and then drinking potions and dodging him and drinking potions until the point that you can focus that you've achieved the time limit, unless you have to kill him whilst the potion is active and it's been running for an X amount of time. Yeah,
The potion has to
but
be
yeah, either
active
way.
at the moment of killing.
Oh, okay. Oh, okay. All
Yeah.
right. No cheating. Got it.
I had to kill a couple more polar bears than I needed to, because not all the kills were with potion active. But hey.
Yeah,
Anyway,
well, that's the thing. So if it was something like that, yeah.
90 seconds isn't a whole lot, but it can be enough
Yeah.
to get you out of a sticky situation.
Yeah.
Let's see, we've also got a quick snapshot of what is to come next week and where you'll find it nesting. So let's jump in and have a read. And yes, next week there will be subsequent gameplay. So yeah. First of all, notable improvements. Aluminum buildables have received a LOD path, meaning that there are no more black lines that are sent when viewed from a distance. And when
Okay.
you get at a certain distance from the buildable and just load it in, you can see like the black horizontal lines going over
Yeah.
the surface. That should now be fixed. Also, added a new master glass material and reworked all the current glass building materials to reduce the excessive amounts of fog that could be seen through the glass. Didn't they state about the same last week?
They did mention something about it where they obviously did like new patterns on breaking and are experimenting with certain things, and they wanted to change the material, especially with the introduction of reinforced glass things. So there was a whole.
Yeah.
I
It
mean,
might
I
have been in
suppose.
the future content though.
Yeah, there was a thing. So I know we mentioned there was a couple of things that were read. So it was mentioned that they were going to be still working on it. So it seems like it's now being added. So
Good, good. Adjusted the weight and the curve of throwing a grenade to a more accurate motion. We've also balanced this against other throwables for cohesion and synced it better with the audio speed.
yeah,
So,
makes sense. One of the things that's quite immersive is the way that certain items feel, quote unquote. And the throwing knives, for example, don't feel like you're throwing a knife. It just seems like an animation and then there goes something. But if you were to throw a grenade, it would have a certain trajectory, a certain arc, a certain clink, a certain clank, a certain all these things. So it'll be pretty interesting to see how it's adjusted. Uh, so definitely something to test.
yep. And I wonder whether or not they changed the behavior of throwing a grenade when submerged. Because
Doubt.
I've tried it at the bottom of the lake. I was throwing a grenade and it acted like I was throwing it through the air.
Yeah, I doubt it. But if they did, that would have been next level. So I doubt. Uh,
Yeah, we'll see. Maybe one day. Turrets will no
eh.
longer attempt to shoot a target if they don't have a line of sight, for example, behind solid walls.
Oh, okay.
This doesn't say
Or
anything
in a
about glass
ravine.
walls, though. On
What
my,
now?
it doesn't state anything about glass walls.
Oh,
On my main
yeah,
Prometheus open
that's
world,
also something interesting.
on my Prometheus main open world, I had to. Was the main or my solo? The main, I think. I had to disable. At some point, I just disabled all the turrets because they were trying to shoot through glass floors and walls. Didn't like it.
Well, glass is a solid object, so it should not shoot through it, even though it's visible. So, but that's also something to test. So,
Yep. Oh, there's going to be a lot to test next week. I can tell you that. But yeah,
mm,
at least they're working on it because this was like my main gripe with the turrets. Like,
well, if
it,
you place them outside, it should be fine. But if you're placing them inside behind glass walls,
I had placed
mm,
them outside, but they were and the animal was around the corner. They
uh,
still tried shooting it through my building, so I had to constantly repair my building.
repair, yeah. Yeah, but that's the thing. So now it seems like it's regardless if it's a wall or a building or if it's a ledge. So rather than wasting ammo as well. So
Yep. So yeah, I'll have to hop back in that open world, enable the turrets, and see what's going to happen.
yep.
Also, they upped the stack size of kiwi fruit to 100 to make most other harvested small fruits and veggies. Not sure what the stack size was for the kiwi fruit, but
No idea.
it making 100 like carrots and like berries and like indeed avocados and all the small stuff makes sense.
Yep.
And here we get a nice image of some sugarcane. I assume from a frog perspective, as they call it, like camera angle, camera originating close to the ground.
No, sugarcane is actually a reed that grows tall. If you haven't seen it, it's like a bamboo shoot.
Hmm.
They grow well above people's head height. So
Oh,
that's
okay.
actually fully from a first person perspective looking at it.
Okay. I did not know it was growing that tall. No. Learned
Yeah, no, they grow even taller than that. Real world sugarcane is actually, it could be twice as tall as that. So, but that's like when it's fully grown, and you probably harvest it before then, or else the reed becomes too like I think there's a certain harvesting size where they slow down, and as most plants, they grow faster when they're bigger. But regardless, it's probably from its normal standing position view.
We'll see. If it is going to be that tall, you can, if you have like a road leading to your base, you can plant sugar canes in mounds
Yeah,
on either side of the road.
it looks aesthetic to be honest. So I would actually plant some wherever I could. If it would grow indoors without sunlight, if I could just leave it there and not wither, it'll actually make pretty decorations and rooms and stuff because I like it. It looks very nice.
So if you have the talent, the green thumb talent,
Yeah,
it is, where
yeah,
crops do
yeah,
not wither, and you have the workshop shovel, uh,
yeah.
with which you can make a mount which is resistant to all storms. Yep, definitely. Then you
Keep it
have
dirt. Well, like I said, I would want to make it aesthetically nice inside. It would be nice if they still introduced some sort of growing plants and for indoors, just for aesthetic bonuses and perhaps rested bonuses. But that's
yeah,
asking a bit much.
you have the vases or the pots.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. You just have to be able to be
So
like,
yeah, if you could put a plant in it, would be nice.
yeah,
True, true. Something
would
for
make a little mini thing as well where you could sort of water them using your water system, and yeah, no, it has a little bit of a relaxing feel for more like a. But yeah, it looks very nice.
So this week, sugar and sugar cane. Now, sugarcane seed packets can now be purchased from the Orbital Workshop and subsequently grown on the surface of Icarus. Fully matured sugarcane can then be harvested and ground into sugar using your mortar and pestle. Now, sugar allows to expand the food choices in the game, providing different alternatives with new buffs that facilitate new ways to play, just as the previous edition of Salt did. Now, the beauty of adding sugar is that it also allows us to explore other chemical applications and how food groups behave with this compound. The obvious area we may experiment with in the future is fermentation. I mean, we already have beer and wine.
Mm-hmm.
Sure.
True, but they might expand on the actual procedure of making it, kind of stuff.
True.
So if they actually went into like a alchemy-based system to develop it more, I think it would be taking it a little bit too far. But for example, just using it as an ingredient into jams, because jams usually have sugar in them, would be the most basic changes moving forward that I could envision. So,
Yeah, but if you're talking fermentation, like
because it's a preservative.
berries and sugar and water to make wine, or maybe first you make some
Yeah, basically.
intermediate ingredient. I don't know.
Well, you still need yeast, so there will be the yeast ingredient as well. But yeah, that's how it works. But then maybe make a barrel similar to what we had with Valheim, if you think about it, because you would put it into a barrel and add all the ingredients. And after some time, it'd be ready for harvest and that type of stuff.
Indeed, like a new kitchen appliance fermentation barrel.
Mhm. And then you can make a wine cellar. You never know. Could be
Exactly,
interesting.
that was what I was thinking as well. Wine cellar. Right. So this week, cookies and candy, some new recipes. We have added a new sugar-based recipe, a few new sugar-based recipes, an energy bar crafted on the player, salted caramel pastry, and caramel berry tarts, craftable on the biofuel stove, and chocolate chip and coconut cookies, craftable on the electric stove. Chocolate chip cookies, nice. Now,
Well, coconut cookies is pretty good, but yeah, we could eventually introduce
yeah,
chocolate because we have cacao. So that's
with,
asset for.
with cacao, so yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, for the candy, if you look at the recipes below, the candy in Lollipops is indeed going to need water, sugar, and the fruit. Oh, nice.
Yep. And it seems like the buffs are plus 10 food on both sides, and then watermelon lollipop says minus 50. Wow,
I know, right? So that one
that
and
is
the Neve.
that is a Neves.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's insane.
I know, right?
That is stupidly. Oh no, that can't stay the same. That is no. That is way too powerful, dude. That is no. That's way because would that be stackable? No, there's no way that that would be stackable.
Uh,
Because even if it's like a
well,
50 minus 50 of the minus 50, so it'll be because
well,
that would
it
mean you would
will. I
remove
think
if it's
it
a
is going to
flat
be.
stack.
I think it's going to be stackable with the Neves.
Well, that's the question because I think the Neves was 55, wasn't it?
The Neves is a
Or was it
minus
50? I
50%.
can't recall.
50.
It was a minus 50.
Yeah.
Okay, okay. Oh, that's interesting. Well, that's an insane bonus for some watermelon and sugar cubes. That's gonna need to be freaking balanced. I would just imagine
Yes.
yeah. And then the other one is plus 25% movement speed.
Yes, but again, keep in mind
That is oh so insane.
this is going to be
That
very
is
short
both
duration.
insane. Oh yeah, wait, yeah.
And by the way, the 10,
Oh yeah,
10
yeah.
food is not
Okay,
a
okay,
buff.
I see it. Oh, okay.
The plus 10 food is not a buff.
No, no, I know, I know. It's just, it's, I know, I know, I know.
Yeah.
It's just food. Yeah, okay. For 120 seconds and for 300 seconds, dude, that's still a decent time. The minus 50, minus 50. It does take two watermelons up, but that's interesting. Two whole watermelons for 5 minutes worth of minus 50% encumbered. That is pretty darn freaking good.
300 seconds is
And yeah, for the watermelon lollipop.
yeah.
And then for the hard candy, it's 120 seconds, so 2 minutes. And that is still plus 25%. That is, I will outrun a bear
Yeah.
with my speed character. Plus 25% is an additional thing. I am pretty sure I could outrun a bear at that point, close to it, because I was close before. It was night in a storm with my exotic and with a bonus weapon out,
And
and with my
IO
movement
bonus.
modules, and with this thing on. Yeah, exactly. Because I have everything on that speed character, so
Yeah.
that would be insanely quick. That sounds like fun tasting. That's actually brilliant. I like this. That's cool. But anyway, going back.
I do. I already know I'm gonna plant a lot of strawberries.
Yeah,
25%.
exactly.
Man.
This gives it a reason to actually consume it. I actually like it. It makes it way more consuming, which is one thing, but the buffs are proper buffs. So yeah, that's an interesting one. I wouldn't even mind if at this point they increased the requirements of like the items to be like 5 pieces of sugar and 10 pieces, like because it's a really powerful buff. So you're gonna have to play with it possibly down the line.
Yeah.
But let's carry on then.
But yeah, all of these sugar-based recipes provide a boost to the charge speed of both, reload speed of guns, make them an excellent choice for
Oh,
enhancing ranged combat. And we're talking about the energy bar, the salted caramel pastry, caramel berry tarts, chocolate
yeah,
cookies, coconut cookies. That's going to be
it's
nice.
going to be interesting. And
Exactly,
definitely,
especially the
yeah,
reload.
definitely also. Yeah, that was. Ignore the charge speed of the bows because most of them are pretty quick. But the reload speed of the guns is interesting, especially if the bolt action, for example. Because of the bolt action, I've had it before that I can actually reload pretty quickly with my gunslinger build. And with that one, I've got the free shot chance as well, where it's bang bang. And then if it still reloads pretty quickly after that with this buff running,
Oh,
it will be actually rather powerful. So yeah,
indeed. So yeah, nice foods to test out.
yeah,
Now,
yeah, definitely.
also added two new recipes for the strawberry hard candy and the watermelon lollipops. Gives short buff to movement speed and penalty reduction for being overcome, but respectively. Not sure which bench you can make those last two in though. You might have to take up all the way to tier 4 if it's only craftable at the marble stove, for example. Then it's a tier 4.
Yeah, I'm trying to see by the picture because it says oxygen, food, and water,
Yeah, no, that is
and
the player
there's
inventory
pictures for.
slots, the suit slots.
Oh, oh, okay. Oh, did they actually introduce that now, so it's easier, so you can actually move it? I have no idea. But
Uh,
if you look at the picture above it, you've got like a spoon and the item, and then what the heck is that to the left of it? A
the
butterfly chicken,
I don't know, the top right, the
and then a
bottom right one
steak,
is
and
the
then
lollipop.
oh, oh, is it?
Yeah,
No, the one next to that is the lollipop because you can see
the
it's
bottom
highlighted by
right,
the gray squares around it.
bottom right is lollipop. To the left of it is the hard candy. To the left of that is some fish.
Oh, you're right. Yeah,
To
yeah,
the
yeah.
right
The
of
hard
that one
candy. Yeah,
is
yeah, yeah. I see that.
some kind of
And then it's
bowl.
steaks. So that's the
No,
yeah.
fish, I think. Fish or, yeah, I think fish.
Could be fish. I could probably be in the. It's probably in the like the kitchen something something. Probably has to be a top tier to be honest. So yeah, that's
Hmm.
at least a good idea.
So you would have to take up to at least tier 4.
Yeah, yeah. At least, which makes sense considering the strength of it. So yeah, fair enough.
Now these candies will not take up any food buff slot, so you can use them on top of other foods. And it is counted by the fact that it's a shorter window of effectiveness, and no like 15 minutes. But still,
Yeah,
man, 5 minutes for the watermelon.
yeah. That's 50% encumberedness down,
Yeah,
or 5 minutes, which is more than enough to usually get to where you need to
make a
be.
base. Yeah,
pretty much.
If it
And
gets from
even 2 minutes, yeah,
uh,
you could consume
depends on
two
how
of
far.
those, and you're pretty much at the same time. So
Depends on how far away the cave is, obviously. But 5 minutes usually is enough to get back to the
everybody's like,
village.
you know,
And especially if you combine it with a niche, then there's basically no more overcomers penalty. Which, by the way,
yeah.
kind of invalidates the talents you have for a reduced overcomers penalty. There is a talent for it.
If you have both, yes. Yeah,
Yeah.
no, we take it. We usually take it,
Yeah.
but yeah, it does, raise the question where I doubt it would be a flat stacking. I think it would be an additive stacking. So it's
The
basically like, okay, the encumbered is 100%, it's minus 50, so it's at 50, minus 50 is at 25, minus the perks, which means it's at 22, 21,
no,
20 at the best. So yeah,
I
you still
think
have a penalty, but not much.
it's a reduction of the base overcomers penalty. So I think you can get
Well, that's the thing. I think,
100% reduction. Definitely gonna check
well,
it out.
I would think it's the opposite way around, but it depends on how they're calculating it because it's the same thing as movement speed. Oh, movement speed is plus 20% movement speed. No, it ain't. It's got penalties on top of it for stacking as well as the fact it's meal.
With the
So it could also
modules,
just be it does or if it doesn't. So
that's for the modules. It's diminishing returns.
yeah,
If you
but like I
have
said, it's
two food buffs, which increase your speed, uh, it is increased in percentage based on your base speed.
okay.
So
Well, it'll be interesting to see.
if you have, for example, a speed of say 400, and you have
Yeah.
two food buffs of say 50% speed increase each, and a backpack which gives you another 25% speed increase. 400, this would mean like 2 times 50 for the foods, 50% would mean 2 times 200, and for the backpack you add 100 more.
Yep.
It's not like cumulative, it's all based on the base speed.
No, no, but it's fine.
Anyway,
I know, but I doubt it's that, but it's yeah. But
but yeah, shorter
that's pretty much it. So
duration.
it's the get.
So you can think of them as a get out of jail free card for those sticky situations when you need to hot food it.
Yeah.
Um,
Yep.
so yeah, strawberry hard candy. When you're solo fighting a Scorpion King, and add to that the reload speed of guns, food.
But that's on a different one, I think. I think that's on a different recipe. We'll have to see. Maybe it's on the base of sugar. I don't know. Unless it's built into it and just hidden or not mentioned. But yeah.
Yeah, it does make soloing Scorpion King a bit more viable. Yeah,
Yeah.
so that's good.
And you'll see if you scroll down, you'll see the picture from a further distance of the sugar cane. So you'll see that, yeah, you're standing about the same height as where the pictures were. Because
Uh,
those are floor tiles or the planters. So
Look at the flowers next to it. They're quite low flowers. So basically, that's
look
the
at the size
height
of the.
of a coffee bush. So yeah, about player height.
Mm,
It's
yeah, like I said, flower heights. And like I
around.
said, you're looking straight into the bottom part of the green.
You have the coffee bush behind it.
Yeah, I saw that. Yeah, it's right next to it. But you'll see it's about because you don't see over the coffee bushes. You see into it. Your eye height is around. You see the
Yeah, I have
two
to keep in mind.
berries.
I
It's
usually
about
travel
as
on.
high as you don't look over a coffee bush. You look into a coffee bush. So you're looking like into it. So you're looking at the same height as the base of the green stem, which is very similar to what you were looking at when you look at the. Yeah, it's still a little bit lower. So it is an up angle photo, the one that was above, but you'll be looking at the base of the green, so to say. Like if you were to just look straight ahead, so you would need to look slightly up to look into it. But it
And I
doesn't
also
matter.
have to keep in mind I usually travel on mount, so I'm a bit higher up.
Oh yeah.
Anyway, coming soon, null sector. Now, as mentioned in previous weeks, plural, the null sector, the free Prometheus expansion, will include new operations, a new exploration mechanic, new mutated creatures, and one new giant creature. New exploration mechanic being like the no map, but you have the new trail beacons. New operations, we did kind of discuss this one operation last week already. The mining vehicle. So yeah. Also the new giant creature. We are speculating it's going to be the icebreaker or something. Now we are
No, we
still
saw the picture of it. It's the goat thing.
the big horned beast. So,
Yeah.
So we are still actively working on the null sector with some big mission revamps in the works. Keep that in mind if you're playing the null sector in closed beta. They are going to rework the missions. Also, if you look at footage of people who are playing or have been playing the missions, some big mission revamps are in the works. Getting more narrative, more dialogue, more missions to provide experience and more missions to provide the experience it deserves. To be honest, when I was browsing through YouTube earlier this week, I did come across one short of a guy who was playing on the closed beta, and I was like, no, skip. I don't want any previews before I see it myself.
Yep.
If you're interested in reading about what we plan to do with the missions in the future, click here. There's a link to the, I don't know, a couple of weeks ago Patchnotes. Now for next week, we're getting a new creature, the Arctic Vesper. Hence where it's nesting part at the start of the Patchnotes. Flying creature by the looks of it. Man, it looks nasty. I wonder how big they're gonna be there. I mean,
It'd be like a bat-sized thing by the looks of the wings, so it seems like it'll probably be like a Dreadwing for the Arctic, something like that.
On the other hand, there is a mammoth underneath the left creature, right?
Yeah, but that's like massively in the distance.
And the right creature, the creature on the right, is also a decent distance away. You could try to calculate the size of these creatures based on
Nope. I think it's basically the size of a Dreadwing. It's not going to be bigger than that. It's basically a small cave type thing, maybe, and maybe coming at night kind of stuff too. Because there's not a lot of things sort of quick moving at night. So I think it's like a bat that comes out at night from the caves, and it's basically a Dreadwing for the Arctic.
Well, they have been talking about cave bats and Arctic bats.
Yeah, with the virus. Yeah, exactly. So yeah.
So next week we plan to introduce a new creature that emerges from nests in Arctic zones. This creature will
That's the spider.
Own trophy, bestiary entry, and new resource type. A new resource type again that will offer an alternative to some existing recipes.
Yeah.
Okay. It does not state it is this map only, so I think it's like in all three maps, Olympus and Styx and Prometheus. Although this image is either from Styx or from Prometheus. Not sure. I don't think. Does Prometheus have mammoths in the Arctic? I'm trying to remember. I don't know.
Yeah, well, Olympus does, but Prometheus, I think it does as well, because there was that one mission where the boss mammoth was there. I'm not sure about naturally spawn one.
The ice mammoth is in. It was an Olympus mission.
No,
Six
no,
mission.
that was the mission in Olympus. That was where they were spawned behind the thing. But I'm pretty sure the mammoth thing that we killed with like poison arrows and then running around,
It
that
was
was
not
in
Prometheus.
Prometheus on the
No,
right hand side Arctic zone, I think. But I
no,
might be wrong.
it wasn't Prometheus. It's too long
All
ago.
right, so yeah, so just skip it
Okay.
then. So yeah, it's fine.
Well,
It's
we'll see.
it's either way. It's basically Arctic zones. It might be introduced into certain zones, but I would imagine yeah, it will probably be in all Arctic zones.
Also, once you kill the first one, I think you get some more info, and then maybe you can see if it's nocturnal or not. Because if it's only nocturnal,
Yeah,
like the Kiwis, yeah, don't know. I mean, well, the
yeah,
Kiwis
it'll come.
they stay during the day, but
It'll probably say.
they only spawn during the night. But
Look,
who is running
I don't,
around in the Arctic during the night?
I don't know. Some people might. Like I said, we haven't really made a massive deployment in an Arctic biome. At least I haven't. So definitely, at nights, if we had a couple of missions where we had to be there to mine the
One
exotic
mission,
nodes, and then
one
it's always been
mission.
fun, keeping an eye out for the polar bears and those stuff. So now imagine if there's these things darting down from the sky with their glowing purple eyes, as well as polar bears, eating your face. So sounds fun.
You can always put creature returns in nowadays, so
Yeah, true.
yeah. So next week. So next week, I can try and find it all out for you. Let's see. It's important to make these updates possible. I have the prices in dollars today. So dynamic set, completed set. Normally the total will be $95.76, 15% off, so $81.41. Or the static bundle, best bundle with 20% off. The complete set, basically everything you don't own yet, will be included, where the best bundle is set 3 DLCs. Anyway, new content. Basically sugarcane. Unlocking the recipes, unlocking the seeds, workshop packs, the items. Sugar now requires a blueprint and is craftable on the marble kitchen bench. Okay, so sugar. Hold on. Here it says sugar is craftable on the marble kitchen bench. Didn't it say mortar and pestle?
That's 2 lines down.
Is
So it
not
is.
only is yes, sugar is not only craftable on a mortar and pestle and material processor.
Yeah.
So do they mean not only a mortar pestle and material processor, but also in a marble kitchen bench, or
Exactly what they mean.
is the typo is now only craftable on a mortar and pestle and material processor? Which kind
I
of
think
makes
it's
more
I
sense.
think it's basically it's craftable on both the marble kitchen bench, the mortar and pestle, and the material
Well,
processor.
that would be the first item then that you can do in both the mortar and pestle and its successor material processor and the kitchen bench.
Yeah.
Usually it's either or.
Mm. But sugar is not a very complicated item to make, so it's
True.
just basically you need space and the what X, Y, Z, and then go for it. So
True.
it's not a very high tier item. Let's put it that way.
And unfortunately, I cannot test it today.
Yeah.
Next week I'll be doing some looking around. Anyway, so they had too low seed drop chance, meaning you buy a pack from the workshop, you plant it, and every time you harvest it, you have less sugarcane seeds remaining, less sugar seeds, less seeds than you harvested plants. So money drain. I fix it, and I have at least the amount of the amount of seeds will be at least the same as the amount of plants. Good. Added the seeds to the dynamic quick rewards list. So the simple quests. So if you don't want to spend any rent on it, you can always wait till you get it as a reward from the simple quest.
Yep.
Water requirements for cookies and candies have been increased. Working around the bug with processors turning off at low water requested. So if you're producing less water than you're consuming, and you don't, then and you don't have any water storage to function as a buffer. Apparently, the food processors, i.e., kitchen bench, did not. I don't know, like didn't like it or something. I don't know, stopped working or something. I don't know. Well, I mean, the whole idea is it's still working, but slower. Well, yeah, just add more water belts and water pumps. That should be fine as well. Add crunch default food to crunchy new edible candies instead of the soft-starting chewing. Yep.
Makes sense. It's about immersion. So if you're eating cookies or something crunchy, such as even certain vegetables like I don't know celery or carrots, crunching sound is better than a chewing sound. So makes it
Carrots
more.
only if they're raw. If they're cooked, they're actually softer. So.
But correct. That's the thing. So the
Yeah.
fact that it would be a raw one would be crunchy, and a cooked one, which you can grill, that would be more mushy. That would be very interesting. So
Barbecued carrots.
grilled carrots, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, eating a steak should sound different from eating candy. Otherwise, either your candy
True.
ain't right,
But
or there's something very wrong with your steak.
yeah, true.
Right, let's see, a couple of fixes. So, add a second batch of aluminum buildables with the improved LED pass. We talked about it already. New master glass material, rework of all the glass build materials. Was mentioned above as well. Railing placed with lack of railing underneath the floor when snapped, and some of the railing buried when not snapped. Now it looks more natural, and these railings appear as a more similar height on stone floors, particularly. Good, my OCD is gonna love this. Good. Fixed type in the quest step for heal device, which is a Prometheus expansion item. Fixed type and item flavor text. Yeah, thank you. LOD material fixes for various windows and doors. Art Deco and stone fireplace meshes. I didn't know the stone fireplace and Art Deco fireplace needed material fixes, but okay.
Yeah, it was pretty glossy. So
Oh, it's very posh. Looking fancy.
mm.
I like it. I like the Art Deco pick. I like it a
Yeah,
lot.
it's a bit marbly, a bit too chic for my opinion tastes, but I can't make everyone happy. So
You'd rather go
it's
for the brutalist one, the concrete,
no, I like that one.
like straight
But
line.
concrete, I said a little bit too cold. So I just like warm, woody, like wooden furniture is fine. Like you just over the normal rustic or the one that's past the rustic one. Can't recall what it was
Carved
called.
wood.
Yeah.
Well, carved wood is definitely looking nice as well. Sure, definitely. But yeah, if you're like a high-end prospector with a lot of rain and a lot of exotics in the bank, you want Art Deco, my man.
Mhm.
Also, the Art Deco wall lights and the Art Deco chandelier are the best light sources in the game. They give an enormous amount of light.
No, it is a big chandelier, so should.
Yeah, but also the wall lights, they give a ton of light, man.
Yeah, I like the little blue glow of the crystal lamps. So, realistically, those are a nice warm glow, a little bit of a candle lit, dim flickering flame, the
Yeah, that's nice for the living
patching of
room.
the
Not
flames in the fireplace. Who wants this artificial blaring LED bright white lights? No, please. I want to live in the wilderness in my little cabin, enjoying a sip of whiskey and some light colored, my bear rug and my nice
fireplace,
recliner.
the fireplace.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly. That's what I want.
Yeah, it's nice for a
So,
living room, but the
yeah.
geodes in your workshop, nah, they don't give off that much light.
Work during the day. We work outside. Like we had those skinning benches way back when where we tried to build them outside just for, making an outside workbench area and, put your fire pit there, build a smith over there, outside work, not inside work, outside work. So,
Yeah, all those, yeah. It's a lot of roofs, and you had to add some kind of walls, otherwise it wasn't properly sheltered. Yeah,
yep, that's correct. Yeah. So, that's the way I would build a base for my open world eventually, which I will probably try and get built eventually when I get back to the gaming side of things.
yep, yeah.
But let's carry on, man.
Like I said,
Mm.
the nice high rooms with lots of light, especially
Yeah,
for the
I mean,
workshop areas. Yeah,
having light is one thing, but at a certain point, it's still about, what you want to obtain. For me, it's like, yeah, you go sleep at night, or if you wanted to go out, you want to have a beautiful decor kind of location of a little bit of an ambient lighting, and having lighting around your base, it makes it look nice. So
well,
playing around with the glass materials and the light sources and a little bit of electric lamps here and there to make it aesthetically, standing out and
you've seen
appeasing with different geometries and shapes.
my main Prometheus open world, right?
Yeah,
The
I've been
different
there.
rooms with the different styles. And where I have one brutalist room with the blue
Yeah, yeah.
geode
But I
lamps.
would I would
They
build. But that's
light
the
it.
thing. You just did it for. You just built those rooms for like display purposes of the different like stylings. I'm actually referring to building a house kind of thing, like a base, and then being the whole thing, set up with
Not true.
the stuff in the places and stuff like that. But it's like I said, but that's regardless. That's fun. That's nice that they've reworked the LOD material fixes for various windows and doors, Art Deco, and stone fireplace meshes. So that's great. But yes,
Let's see. Fine tune the throwable curves to be in line with each other so grenades don't fall right on the floor at the light tap. I've had it before.
oh, you have. Oh, I didn't know that was a thing. Actually, that's
So yeah, you like click and immediately release. Then it's basically just dropping the grenade at your feet, and you're like, okay, now I shoot a run.
whoops. Yeah, well, that
Yeah.
could end bad. I have no idea how much damage a grenade actually does.
Decent amount, actually. Decent amount. You
Yeah.
don't want to stand too near to a grenade when it explodes. I'm telling you that.
You definitely don't, because it should one shot your backside. But yeah, it's
Not sure about one
no,
part, but it does do a decent amount of damage.
yeah.
Yeah, related to that one, adjusted the weight and the curve to feel like a grenade. Balance against
Mhm.
other throwables for cohesion and sync better with the speed of the audio. Yeah.
Yeah, because
Uh,
that's about immersion. So feel like you're throwing a knife, or feel like you're throwing an axe, or feel like you're throwing a thwatter, or feel like you're throwing a grenade. All these things would be different. So
Turrets no longer attempt to shoot at the target if they don't have line of sight. Also, optimization pass on turrets to reduce the cost of their target flexion. Stable
yeah,
material updating. Yeah, I'll have a look. If I don't forget, I'll have a look next week. See how turrets are acting now. Fix texture errors on the glass door. Edit tempered glass frame materials for window and door. Adding texture filling controls to MAG glass builds to the scale of reinforcing. Scale of reinforcing. Okay. Couple of changes to shields. Shield durability now
Hmm.
reduced based on the total damage rather than mitigated damage. Like where your armor gets damaged during a storm, I don't think a shield gets damaged during a storm. Also, shield, if you have it on your in G slot, it only protects your back. So any attacks from the front, not mitigated by the shield, thus the shield did not take damage. They are now going to change this. They basically make it the same as your armor. The amount of damage it takes is based on your damage taken and not based on the damage mitigated.
For me, I think it's still going to be on the actual location where it's happened, but it's just the damage calculation to increase the speed of wear, not so much that it's going to impact that it doesn't protect you the way it's supposed to, or it would how it
Yeah,
was
I
working.
mean,
It's just the values change.
it will still mitigate the same amount of damage. However, the hits to its durability taken, that is going to change.
Yeah, there will be bigger chunks. That's the thing. So it'll die quicker. That's what I'm saying. So
So, in order to compensate for that, the shield durability maximum have been increased to reflect the damage intake change. Higher tier shields will have the same or higher durability.
okay,
So yeah, now I'll have to repair my shield a bit more often.
basically,
On the other hand, it does have more durability, so should be
possibly more because it says higher tier shields will have the same or
true,
higher
true,
tier durability.
true, true.
So it depends on what shields are going to be rebalancing.
Oh, well, meh.
Yeah, we'll see.
I have
Yeah,
enough
we'll see.
materials to repair my shield anyway, so.
Yeah, true. True, true, true.
Fix an issue where beehive upgrades would collide with the player, even if they weren't visible or attached to the hive. Now, beehive, you first add storage, doesn't really change the beehive much, it just becomes a little bit higher. Then you add the breeding chamber to the side of the beehive.
So
So
it pokes out, yeah.
it should change, become wider. And
Hmm.
you add another storage on top of it, so it should become a little bit higher. Then you add the processor, which automatically turns the honeycombs into beeswax and honey, and that goes to the other side of the beehive. So the hitbox should extend horizontally again. Now, apparently, even the basic beehive had this fully extended hitbox. Apparently, never noticed it myself, but that's how I read this.
Yeah, yeah. It's basically that's the way because it does recalculate the hitboxes. So it just says that
Yeah,
they fix an issue that the
it should.
upgrades would collide with the player. It should. So it just might mean that they got stuck. That's what I mean. So it would collide and then sort of pin the player. I haven't ever seen that, but I could imagine it maybe to work, or maybe it'll be a fun thing if you're building a beehive on top of a very precarious ledge on a very high beam somewhere, and then you had a friend that just quickly expanded it, and then bang, pushes you off, and you fell to your death. I don't know.
Right?
It's realistically unlikely.
It says beehive upgrades would collide even if they
Yeah.
weren't attached to the hive.
Oh, maybe to other units, like
So
with player,
when you
as
place the
with player.
base hive, it had the hitbox of the fully upgraded and
Mm.
fully extended hive.
Oh,
Again,
okay.
like I said, I've never noticed it, but then again, I don't do a whole lot with beehives anyway, so yeah.
Yeah.
Um, Added additional inventory slots to the larval meta backpack, the space backpack, the shotgun one. Previously, it did not give you any additional inventory slots. So when you use the backpack instead of, for example, the survival backpack, you all of a sudden lost a whole row of slots. They mitigated that. Good. Up to 6,000 cubic foot to 100. Talked about that before. Fixed character, talent, weapons are not repairable at bench. Character, talent, weapons?
That's maybe like the blueprint weapons. Like, well, I'm not sure. Talented weapons. Are those new
No,
weapons like talented weapons?
I'm thinking I believe the farming tree, there's a talent with which allows you to make gunpowder from
Yeah,
spoiled plants and fertilizer.
something like that. Yeah, but that's not something that needs to be repaired.
Fertilizer
So
and I believe fertilizer straight away. I don't know.
I think
Fertilizer
so.
and
Yeah, there's
farming.
something like that. But I know there was like crafting something of a shotgun. That's
Yeah.
that's that's.
Now
I
I'm
vaguely
thinking,
recall something like that.
is there also a talent which allows you to like craft a weapon, like a
No,
rusty?
that's the thing. I don't think so. I think that might be maybe it's a blueprint, not actually a talent.
I don't know.
Because if you think about it, oh, like the cave worm bow and all these other things, fixed character, blueprint weapons are not repairable at the
Recall,
bench.
seem to recall something about like a rusty shotgun or something.
Yeah, that was the thing. Yeah, that's the thing. It was something of a shotgun, so it might be that one. Yeah, could be. I remember there was something like a shotgun. I don't think I've ever tasted it, but I was like, yeah, that's. I'm uncertain about it. It could be. You're right. Something like a rusty shotgun.
So you could make it, but you could never repair it. Oops.
Yeah,
Glad I
yeah,
fixed that.
yeah.
Add validator to pick this up in the future. Good. Um, Fix incorrect material assignment on Scoria trapdoor floor. So it looked like some other material. Okay. Here I was
Cool.
thinking I lay down a Scoria floor with a trapdoor in
Mhm.
it. Yeah. Fix typo in the IDs on the dynamic collection mission.
Doesn't matter. But the next line is something that would have irked you.
Yeah, slightly offset refined wood half-piece floors so they line up properly.
Yeah.
Thank you, my OCD is so grateful now. Yeah.
Ah, there's actually another audio change, which is good. They actually realize that they really need to improve the immersion of the game. So
So adjusting the smoke grenade bounce audio from feeling like it's bouncing on the spot.
yeah,
Adjusted friction to prevent continuous sliding of grenade triggering constant annoying audio. Well,
I think I've seen that before.
apparently
Yeah,
it does have some friction, so the grenade doesn't like keep on going until it explodes. So they
yeah,
should be able to do the same underwater, but just up the friction by a lot.
yeah. Because it should stop when it just goes into water. I mean, it is an item that gets thrown. There's a lot of,
Yeah, but
you know,
more like you jump in the lake, you submerge underwater, then you throw a grenade. Then it,
yeah. In essence, what they should also just make is that the speed of swimming should also just be drastically reduced because it doesn't make sense that people swim as the speed that they're swimming. So
swim speed is actually different from walking speed. It's a different stuff.
it is.
And
It
the
is, but
nano
I
armor,
would challenge you
it
to
gives
swim
you,
as fast as you can freaking run. So
but it is already slower. Trust me. And then
no beep, Sherlock. I know it's slower. I'm just saying that it's not slow enough
ah,
because you can't swim through water at the speed at which you can do. Hence, or should be able to do it in the game. Hence, it should be something that you actively avoid and not actually as a viable shortcut, because swimming takes a lot of energy and should actually be a lot slower, because swimming in a suit on an alien planet should not be as easy as it is. And they could also
wear the
technically make a
nail
whole
armor.
pass with the whole.
So wear the nail armor and get yourself over in combat.
Any
Just
armor.
tell me again, you're swimming too fast.
You're Dutch.
Yeah.
You know how difficult it is to just swim with normal sets of clothes and a jacket on, let alone an entire spacesuit. It's going to be extremely difficult. So they could actually do a whole pass on the whole water too,
It's a
because it's not
spacesuit.
really
It's basically a
the
spacesuit.
water at. No, but the point is, currently, water is just a layer that changes a color filter when you look above and below, and then a slight movement penalty. That is it. You can shoot, you can throw, you can't jump, but it's pretty much there's no difference between anything that you do between those two layers. If you did like, oh, everything below this is slowed down by 90%, then that makes more sense because
Add more
you
friction.
can't shoot a bow that far.
Yeah.
Friction, movement, swimming, actions like swinging an axe. Good luck swinging an axe underwater. If you've done it before, then you'll know that it's not freaking easy.
Also, but that is going to be hard, I think. Breaking index of light. If I'm underwater,
it's get
I
darker
can
as
very
yeah,
easily
sure,
shoot
that's also a good one.
Like the island. It's just straight. It does not account for the difference in breaking index of light.
And it would be very easy also to just have like, as you go deeper, you have more resistance, or also, well, not more resistance, but you have just less light up until the point. I mean, there's not that deep of water,
There are actually
zones yet. It's mostly shallow.
a couple
Well,
of spots on the map.
no, that's actually like what mission on Olympus, the lake water way, and like the mission that we had to go swimming across to get to a little island where we had to build radars, and you had this thing in the middle of the lake. That was actually a pretty deep lake, I think. So there you should have been able to almost fully reach pitch blackness. So.
Not deep enough to be complete darkness, though.
It'll be pretty much something where you wouldn't want to be, because that also allows them to have different resources at the bottom there, some sort of things and some fishies that you wouldn't want to come face to face with. You never know, but it's definitely an unexplored area at the moment.
We're not talking Subnautica here, huh?
Well, I don't know. I haven't played the game, but
I don't think
it is an alien planet.
Do any depth calculations.
But it is something that they can tap into. But that's anyway. We can also, it's good that they've changed the audio, because immersion is key. At least I feel like the game that Icarus is trying to portray needs to be way more immersive than what it is. So.
Anyway, let's continue.
Yeah, go for it.
Added grenade bounce impact event for spatial awareness of grenade proximity. Also setting up for the new boss grenades, etc. It's more aluminum building, LOD stuff. Improvement. Yeah, New Zealand spelling.
Yeah, it's good.
Future content. Let's see. Anything interesting here?
Maybe exotic infused creatures again.
Boss Fix issue where opening bunker medical cabinet in-game rotated it. This was literally said in last week's patch notes.
Oh, okay. I don't recall this one. Rotating the cabinet? I can't remember reading that, but that's okay. That's good.
3 down though. Stranded Eggland.
Yet again, I like it.
The timer has been increased by 1 hour on each difficulty, but they have added another optional step optional step for food and water.
Okay. I do like the two lines above that. Changing light source to be warm, light range, and intensity of the lantern. So they're making it so that again, you don't want just a blaring white light. You would want to probably make it a little bit more, lanterny. So
More yellow in the light, warmer light.
it's there's a harsh light which is just sharp, and there is a different types of light that you get out of a flame versus that you would by generating it via light
If,
bulb.
if you have a
So it
flashlight,
is different.
it's like very white and cold and hard light.
Yeah, it is. It is, but it's also very sharp and abrupt. So it's
Yeah.
not the cone angle and alignment of the spotlight of the flashlight is also something interesting, because I know that the flashlight when it was in your hand was a bit strange, but okay.
In your hand or on your in the light slot.
Yeah, but yeah, in your belt, yeah. But
It
even
is,
then, it was always like a little bit of an odd one.
yeah. Well, it's a directional light, so
It's-
the cone angle.
It is, but yeah, true. But remember, flashlight shines, but there is a radiant light that comes off of it a little bit as well. So rather than just doing being like, oh, you can now see here, it should also illuminate an area slightly around you to a certain extent. If you ever used a flashlight,
Kind of depends on the medium you're shining through. Lots of particles in the
just if
air,
you're in a
they reflect a lot of light, so you get more ambient light.
true, but if you're in a cave, for example, is that yeah, if the light hits on now yet again, we're not talking about ray tracing or what's the other one? Ray pathing, but it's like the one that's like yeah. So it's like it doesn't have to be that advanced, but yeah, just giving a little bit of a warm ambient light from when you're using a flashlight, for example, wouldn't be the end of the earth. But we'll see what they have changed when they talk about the cone angles.
But yeah. Let's see. Added text for Marrow Wraith items.
Yeah, I saw that mirror wraith. It sounds like a flying thing that needs to get killed.
Yeah.
So
Kill it all.
yeah, brings back the wraith from freaking Valheim to a certain extent.
The blue flying ghost.
Yeah. Deal of blah blah blah.
Added SK gun rock golem. So we get a rock golem gun.
Interesting. I would imagine there to be some lore based upon how the rock
Like
golem generates its
part
energy.
of the
So
living weapon
yeah,
weapon badge,
yeah,
which is probably
yeah,
going to be
probably.
introduced in the next DLC, not a free expansion, but the next space DLC.
Yeah,
I reckon.
yeah, that's what sounds good. Yeah.
And see.
I like the flickering thing as well, because flickering, for example, yet again, a flame flickers. So there is a difference between excessive flickering, but having some flickering is good.
There's
And
also
also on like a torch or something, just having, and even on like lights, so you're not going to have a perfect power flow,
there's also
considering
the
you've built
difference
things out of.
between AMD and Nvidia, you know.
No, I'm not,
That's
no,
a
no, no.
big
But I mean, like in-game intentional generated flickering.
invert as
Because I would
implementation.
imagine, let's say, for example, you had a
Hmm?
no, it's like if you had a slightly damaged, spotlight or light
Oh yeah,
or something,
that's
or
from
not even damaged, or your energy grid is not 100%, or it's got a little bit of strain in it, or it's got like it doesn't just blare light. And it's either on or off. A flickering might indicate something is amiss. Something like that. It could also be a whole different thing. But anyway.
Add implementation of inverted concrete floor and ramp. Inverted floor?
Okay.
Uh-huh.
No idea.
Me neither. It's mentioned 2 or 3 times now.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah.
Listen to the medical scanner audio. Also, just the truck in the same mission to be metal. Was this a plastic which we don't have footstep layers for? Then just make them.
Mm-mm. Stasis bags. Stasis bags.
Oh,
Empty stasis bags are now consumed when you use them on the injured NPCs.
so stasis bags is to
Stasis
be
bags.
for the Avalanche mission.
Yeah, I would think so. So it's some sort of you've got like NPCs which need to be transported, and it's like they're in cryostasis, and I have no idea.
Let's see. There was a bit of. Okay, if you go down a bit more, quite a bit more, there's a bullet point stating splitting up quests. Now you have crisis Avalanche, finding the location and healing the crew. They got stranded Avalanche,
Yeah.
help the crew resupply, and a rescue Avalanche, saving
Mm-hmm.
the 2 crew members who were
Mm-hmm.
off scouting. So healing the crew,
Yeah, exactly.
I think that's what the stasis bags are for. It's going to be like, yeah, how
Like
do we put
nanite
it?
paste or something. Yeah,
Like a bandage or something, you know?
yeah, probably. Yeah. I'm just thinking it's like basically this new tech. It will probably the whole new mission of the dark sector will probably introduce like dark tech or something like that. So it could
Yeah.
just be something that's used. So
But yeah, back up. Rescue
mm,
Avalanche added a new mission, adding new recipe, quest flag, and new items for stasis bags. New items for stasis
hmm
bags kinda indicates that you might be able to actually craft them out of
hmm
4 stasis bags. Additionally, adding new NPCs for the quest, adding new medevac ship. So what? You first have to find a truck, then you have to heal the crew, then you have to call in the medevac ship somehow, even though there's no radar and no scanner, etc. And then bring the
it
crew
could be a
to
beacon of some
medevac.
sort.
Gonna be interesting.
Yeah, it sounds like a very intricate, mission or
Yep.
chain of missions, quest line.
Me like it dat.
Mm-mm.
Okay, let's see.
Mm. Adding deploy sandworm wood building tier audio.
And let's see if I can find it.
It's
Further.
close to the bottom screen. It's 1, 2, 3,
Yeah,
6, 9.
yeah.
It's about 12 or 13 from the bottom.
Sandworm.
Sandworm
Actually,
wood
I
builder.
think it was mentioned a couple of weeks ago where we were speculating, like I don't know, something like somehow like use the sandworm skills to fortify your wood. And what I was
Yeah,
mentioning, what I was stating, like I hope it'll have a different mesh and not like the current reinforced wood, which has the same mesh as normal wood.
yeah.
So it has been mentioned in Patchnotes before.
Well, if you think about it, you could theoretically just, take a damn nail and take the scales and slap it onto wood
Yeah,
like shingling, and then just like have like a increased, you know, heat resistant building type of system inside of it, or just increase durability if you don't want to go too advanced, but have a different texture and look and feel that could also be conceptually designed, which would be pretty cool. I would like it. Adding new textures to build with
oh
is
yeah.
probably also a fair area of interest for players. It depends. I don't really know where the interest currently lies, but yeah, it's pretty cool. Definitely, it'll be a reason to go hunt down the creatures. Same thing with the wolf fur throwing things and adding, the corpses of the defeated enemies into the
Scorpion King.
foundation of the buildings around you. It's pretty fun.
Scorpion King, which also drops skills.
Yeah,
Uh,
yeah, true.
yeah. 2 bullet points above. Fixed issue with rescue where the stasis bags did not mention where they were crafted. See? They are going
Yeah,
to be
so
crafted.
comfortable items. Yeah, true.
Cool, cool.
Rhyme tusk
Rhyme Tusk head trophy.
is that
And yeah, Rhyme Tusk going to be a new animal. Cool.
is that might that be the new world boss name?
Maybe. Or is it
Tusk.
something
No, the
introduced
tusk. No,
recently?
no, tusk. That tusk is like an elephant tusk, not a horn. I'm getting mistaken. So it's probably some sort of new creature. And then
Maybe
same with frame pillar beams.
yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Um, added light to dry
That's about it.
atmosphere modifier that the temperature will fluctuate throughout the day. Okay.
Nice. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, because a little bit of a breeze will change. It might get hotter here or
Sudden
hotter
temperature
there,
drops by like 20
rather than just
degrees.
being constant.
Yeah, cool.
Yeah. Makes sense, yeah, because you need to keep an eye out. It's not like, oh, it's 40 degrees now, so it's going to stay 40 and then cool down later. It's no, even without a storm, depending on where you are, how far away you from water, maybe that'll be nice. Because if you build your house close to the side of a river, like then it's not as hot as it would have been if you built it on top of the desert, mountainous rock, valley of death kind of thing. So yeah, it sounds pretty good.
Currently, if you don't look at like weather events, you have like for each biome 2 temperatures, day and
Yeah.
night, and it's like an insta switch.
Yeah, exactly. Well, not instant. It does go down slowly and go up
About
slowly for
instantly.
cold air. But
There's not a whole lot of
no,
time. You can
yeah, there's not
very
a whole lot.
clearly see
Yeah,
it in the
it's.
in the in the Arctic, where
Oh, yeah, yeah, I agree.
from
Yeah,
four
yeah,
degrees
no, I agree.
plus all of a sudden drops to -20. So
Yeah, yeah. No, no, correct. Yeah, there is a
so
big difference between. I know what you mean, but
the
yeah,
build is
having
maybe
some
mean like
deviations.
yeah you get like okay the dry atmosphere is the volcanic biome I believe right where it was so
Yeah,
during the night it's like I don't know 10 degrees and then from sunrise say 8 till 10 it's like 15 degrees from 10 till 11 is 20 like like middle of the day is like 50 degrees outside and then once the sun starts to set the temperature goes down again
I
more.
think I think could be random fluctuations or hopefully not that random because if you think about it, the geography of a location and where it's situated, is it in a ravine? Is it in a gully, in a valley? Is it in a place where wind would sweep through constantly or a current or a draft would be formed or as an upcurrent is formed, which would sort of deviate the temperatures, hotter or colder. So there's not just, oh, this looks good, I'll build a base here versus oh yeah, the wind might pick up over here or there, or a little bit more strategic planning in regards to looking for a more temperate zone, because if you just build your base out in the open of the middle of nothingness, it should be hotter versus shading. For example, you could also imagine shading with a couple of palm
No
trees,
shading, but increasing wind.
cooling you down a bit more.
Yeah,
So
I don't know. And
but yeah,
I would like to see a bit more gradual temperature changes.
yeah, but that would be part of the rework if they were to kind of move in that direction, which definitely is something which would increase the immersion even more. Yet again,
Definitely.
if you're like, oh, I'm going to paint a cave at the mouth, it's not just like, oh, you're outside, like you move a centimeter and it's like, oh, it's minus 30 degrees. And you take one step back, oh, it's like 10 degrees. So
Yeah, but
yeah,
we're talking, this one specifically talking fluctuate throughout the day, not throughout the biome. This is specifically
the
talking
yeah.
about fluctuate throughout the day.
Which makes sense because the sun does have a very larger influence on the actual temperature. But you could also just think about it overcasting systems, right? So, oh, there's a cloud. So suddenly there's a cloud. That would also probably improve the immersion significantly more. Having
Yeah,
like
temperature
occasional,
drop.
not a weather storm, but just like a cloud. You know, it's like, oh, suddenly the light has dipped. Oh, the temperature has dropped by 5 degrees. Oh, it's because there's a cloud. Oh, okay. Now I'm slightly more stealthy because there's less light for the deer to spot me, yeah, etc., etc. So it's could be interesting. Maybe way too advanced, but yeah, at least they're changing, looking at new systems. But yeah, that's it from my
Yeah,
side.
yep, that's about it in here. Let's see. So, yeah, these were the Patchnotes of week 143. Carl, I'd like to thank you for joining me for the Patchnotes. I really appreciate it. Always better to have a conversation, a discussion, rather than just reading things out loud. So thank
Yeah,
you for being here.
yeah, it's a pleasure. And obviously next week we'll see when Echo is able to rejoin or when you're back at home, so that you can
Yep.
actually follow up with gameplay as well. But otherwise, always a pleasure to be here.
So yeah, next week Friday, traveling home. I should be home in time for the Patchnotes and let's do subsequent gameplay afterwards. So yeah.
Yeah, sounds good. So I'll check you next week. But until then, have a nice evening.
Thank you, man. You too.
Cheers.
And for you folks, thank you for being here. Really appreciate it. I hope you enjoyed. Uh, we do this every week, starting usually at 21:30 British summer time. A little bit later today, of course. On vacation, different laptop. You know how it goes. Anyway, we still managed to do it, so that's good. Um, so again, thanks for being here, and I hope I will see you around.